Good noon to everyone. Today discuss about in a mass transfer operation 2. Okay, and the unit number 5 adsorption and an exchange. Topic છે આજનો adsorption from liquids. This one adsorption from liquid. In a previous lecture में આપણે જોઈ ગયા હતા for adsorption equilibrium single stage and vapors માટે gases and vapors, adsorption hysteresis, and last one heat of adsorption and effect of temperature on adsorption. તો નાવ સ્ટાર્ટ કરીશું આપણે adsorption from liquids. લિક્વિડના બેઝિસ પર છે. તો નાવ when an adsorbent solid is immersed in a pure liquid, the evolution of heat known as the heat of wetting is evidence that adsorption of the liquid does occurs, but immersion does not provide an effective method of measuring the extent of adsorption. No applicable volume change of the liquid which might to be used as a measure of adsorption is ordinarily observed, while withdrawal of the solid and weighing it will not distinguish between the adsorbed, the liquid, and that which is mechanically occultated. This problem does not exist in the case of adsorption of gases, where the change in a weight of the solid due to the adsorption is radially measured. Simply, for adsorption in a liquid part માં જ્યારે adsorbent solid material પાર્ટમાં હોય is immersed in a pure liquid માં. The evolution of heat known as the heat of wetting is evidence that adsorption of the liquid does occurs, but immersion does not provide an effective method of measuring the extent of adsorption. No applicable volumes change of the liquid which might to be used as a measure of adsorption is ordinarily required observed, while withdrawal of the solid and weighting it will not distinguish between the adsorbed, the liquid, and that which is mechanically part occultated. This problem does not exist in the case of adsorption of gases, where the change in weight of the solid due to the adsorption is radially measured. Okay, so simply adsorption of a solute from dilute solution ના બેઝિસ પર જઈશું આપણે. ઓકે, તો સિમ્પલી ડિસ્કશન જ કરવાનું છે this બેઝિસ પર આપણે. તો when જ્યારે an adsorbent is mixed with a binary solution ના બેઝિસ પર હોય, adsorption of both solute and solvent occurs, since that the total adsorption cannot be measured. The relative or apparent adsorption of solute is determined instead. The customary procedure is not to treat a known volume of the solution with a known weight of adsorbent V, the volume solution of mass adsorbent, as a result of the preferential adsorption of solute. The solute concentration of the liquid is observed to fall from the initial basis, initial value છે C0, to the final equilibrium value C star, the mass solute per volume liquid. The apparent adsorption of solute, the neglecting any volume change in the solution, is then V C0 minus C star, the mass solute adsorbed per mass adsorbent. This is satisfactory for a dilute solution when the fractions of the original solvent which can be adsorbed in a small basis. Okay, which one part? This is the adsorption on a liquid basis per. Okay, now the first again repeated liquid, and just read it, then I will explain again. Okay, now the continue part. For a liquid, when adsorbent solid is immersed in a pure liquid, the evolution of heat known as the heat of wetting part is evidence that the adsorption part of the liquid does occurs, but immersion does not provide for adsorption on a liquid પાર્ટમાં જઈશું. નેક્સ્ટ લેક્ચરમાં જઈશું આપણે ફ્રેન્ડેજ ઇક્વેશન્સ અને એડઝોર્પ્શન ફ્રોમ કોન્સન્ટ્રેટેડ સોલ્યુશનના બેઝિસ પર જઈશું. ઓકે, તો when an adsorbent solid is immersed in a pure liquid, the evolution part. Okay, now applicable, now volume the change of this liquid which might be used in a measures of the adsorption is ordinarily observed while the withdrawal of the solid and wetting. It will not distinguish between the adsorbed liquid and that weight is mechanically calculated. These problems does not exist in the case of adsorption of gases, where the change in weight of the solid due to the adsorption is readily measured. Simply, now the adsorption of a solute from the dilute solution now is આપણે. When an adsorbent is mixed with a binary solution, adsorption of the both side solute and a solvent જે અકર્ષના પાર્ટમાં છે. Since the total adsorption cannot be measured, the relative or apparent adsorption of its solute is determined instead, and the customary procedure is to be treat a known volume of the solution with a known weight of adsorbent small v, the volume, a solution per mass adsorbent. As a result of a preferential adsorption of a solute, the solute concentration of the liquid is observed to fall from the initial value C0, that initial final equilibrium value C star, the mass solute per volume liquid basis per se, and the apparent adsorption of solute, the neglecting any volume changing in the solution, is then the VC0 minus C star, the mass solute adsorbed per mass adsorbent. This satisfactory operation for a dilute solution when the fractions of the original solvent which is can be observed in a small part machine. Okay, now the apparent adsorption of a given solute dependence this section part of a solute and temperature, the solvent and type of adsorbent. Typically isotherms are shown in figure 11.10 for isotherms of the indicated from the have been observed. For some example, okay, when the given solute is absorbed on the same situation part, for this one જે આપણે એડઝોર્પ્શન હિસ્ટેરેસિસનો ડાયાગ્રામ જોઈ ગયા હતા એના બેઝિસ પર જ છે. ટિપિકલી એડઝોર્પ્શન આઇસોથર્મ્સ ફોર અ ડાયલ્યુટ સોલ્યુશન. Okay, simply now the adsorbent but from different solvent. A graph કોના versus છે equilibrium solute concentration on in liquid versus the weight solute apparently adsorbed per weight absorbent. Okay, now adsorbent but different solvent, the extent of adsorption for a given solute practically always decrease at increasing temperature and usually is greater the smaller the solubility in the solvent. It is usually reversible so that the same isotherms the result with a solute in is dissolved or adsorbed. આપણે પ્રીવિયસ લેક્ચરમાં જઈશું. થોડોક આગળનો પાર્ટ છે તે જોઈ લઈએ. નાવ ધ ઇફેક્ટ ઓફ ચેન્જ ઓર પ્રેશર ઓર ટેમ્પરેચર જોયું આપણે કે ધ અવેલેબલ ડેટા આર ધ મેનર્સ છે એન્ડ જનરલાઇઝેશન પ્રોસેસ આર વેરી ડિફિકલ્ટ to make this a process. The lowering the pressure will of the course of the reduced amount of the adsorbate upon the adsorbent as shown in a upper half of figure 11.9. In several cases investigated over any applicable range, the relative adsorptivity of paraffin, the hydrocarbons on carbon decreases at increase the pressure as shown in the lower part. Okay, of the figure just does not does in distillation part owing to the increasing tendency part or towards the liquid concentration in the absorbent. Some capillaries at a higher pressure and the equilibrium may be simply be shifting towards the ordinary vapor liquid equilibrium and with the increases pressure જેમ જેમ તમે જે હાઈ પ્રેશર વધારશો તેમ તેમ એનું પ્રેશર બી વધશે. And each of the investigated cases this corresponding to lower separation factor increasing the temperature at constant pressure will decrease the amount adsorbed from a mixture and will influence the relative adsorptivity as well, but in a manners of the which no generalizations can now be made. Okay, now in a previous lecture discussion part, this one for a graphical system. This is the binary gas or vapor mixture, both components. Okay, જે આપણે થોડુંક રિવિઝન જ જોઈ લઈએ ફોર એડસોર્પ્શન ઓન લિક્વિડનું. The liquids when this adsorption and ion exchange when adsorption liquid basis પર જોઈએ આપણે કે જ્યારે adsorbent solid is emerge in a pure liquid basis માં હોય the evolution of heat known as the heat of wetting. The advance that adsorption of the liquid does occurs and immersion part does not provide an effective method of measuring the extent of adsorption. Not applicable volume change of the liquid which might be used as a measure of adsorption is ordinarily observed, while the withdrawal of the solid and wetting it will not distinguish between the adsorbed liquid and that which is mechanically accumulated. This problem does not exist in the case of the adsorption of gases and occurs the change in weight of the solid due to the adsorption is a readily measured part. Now this is the adsorption of solute from the dilute solution જે small occurs basis પર છે when an adsorbent is mixed with a binary solution. Adsorption of both solute and solvent occurs since the total adsorption cannot be measured. The relative or apparent adsorption of solute is determined instead. The customary procedures is create to known of volume of the solution with known weight of the adsorbent small v and the volume solution per mass adsorbent as a result of proportional adsorption of the volume solute concentration part in absorbed basis પર છે to fall from the initial value C0 to the final equilibrium value C star. mass solute per volume liquid ના basis પર છે. The apparent adsorption of a solute the neglecting any volume change in the solution Now is the small v c0 minus c star the mass solute adsorbed per mass adsorbed ના બેઝિસ પર છે જે આ ગ્રાફિકલી સિસ્ટમ પર છે આપણે જોઈએ. ઓકે, તો થેન્ક યુ સો મચ.